Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about, the golden child curse. I mean, the different ways a narcissistic mother destroys her own son's life. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So these narcissistic mothers are pretty, I would say commercial, transactional, instrumental, mothers. It's all about supply. They really don't care, what their son is going through or how her action and behavior is going to negatively influence and impact the son and his life. I mean, his future relationships. She just doesn't care. All what she's concerned about is harvesting supply. I have given birth to him, and now I'm going to get whatever I can out of that son. That's it. I mean, it's like a, you know, small short term investment with huge lifetime return. That's it. These women are basically into misusing their, you know, procreation ability, I would say. Yeah, I mean, they are not like healthy mothers. Healthy mothers are going to do the best, they can for you, and they'll set you free. They are not going to be like a parasite. They are not going to make you feel obligated. They are not going to make you feel that it's your responsibility to cater to their emotional and, other needs. No, they don't do that. Yeah. For, all the needs and wants, she has her husband. So, I mean, or else, she can do it by herself. She doesn't make the son, feel obligated. In narcissistic household, these women, make their son feel obligated. Yeah, I mean, my dad is not a good man, I need to be a replacement. Yeah, a lot of, these, Oedipus complex and Electra complex, you get to witness, in narcissistic families. I mean, no matter how much people say that, no, this is not right, and, this theory is not right, and that, theory is not right. But trust me, it makes a lot of sense when you see, Oedipus complex, manifesting in front of you between the narcissistic mother and their son. Yeah. So, I mean, one thing is that, whatever, we um, don't feel comfortable with, we start labeling it, and, we discard it. No, 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 this thing doesn't happen. But what is, Oedipus complex? It's a kind of an emotional incest, yeah, unhealthy enmeshment between the narcissistic mother and her son. So, I mean, these narcissistic women royally destroy their son's life, and all of it is under the guise of love, care, concern. I love you, I care about you, I'm a helpless needy woman. And that's it. That's how things are in narcissistic families. Now, what are the different ways these narcissistic mothers, destroy their own son's life? The first way is that they condition them, I mean their son, to prioritize her needs over their own, leading, to a lifetime of self neglect. So what you like, what you want, what you desire, you're being selfish. Prioritize me because I'm your mother. I have sacrificed, I have, done this, I have done that. They are into dry bagging, they are into giving you payback reminder. And, they condition the son that, I should be your priority and not your own life, your saving, your investment, your relationship with your wife, you starting a family. You should not focus on all of that. You should just be focused on me and, fulfilling my wants, needs, and desire. The other way these narcissistic mothers destroy their own son's life is by, sabotaging, their son's independence, making them emotionally and financially dependent. Yeah. So, they don't let their sons, grow up to be independent adults. Yeah, they cripple them. Yeah, they stunt their growth. They, make them, emotionally dependent on them. So no matter what he does emotionally, he's dependent, on me, and he's going to come back to me. And, then I'll press the buttons and harvest and do whatever I want. And these, I mean, these sons are never allowed to make independent decisions. If ever they tried in the childhood or growing up, they were shamed and labeled as selfish, mean, inexperienced. They don't know what, life is, how things are in the world. So always seek advice of who else than your narcissistic mother. Yeah. So, they uh, really stunt their son's growth. The other way these narcissistic mothers destroy their own son's life is by instilling deep guilt and fear, preventing them from making decisions without her approval. So every time he did things, he was labeled as selfish, he was labeled as mean, he was labeled as difficult, he was labeled as crazy. And I mean, if he failed, then of course, there were more labels thrown at him. So as a result of which, he's scared. He has this deep seated guilt and fear of failing or making a mistake. So he stops making mistake. Yeah. And he just seeks her approval. Yeah, let me seek her approval, and things will be okay. Because if things go south, if things mess up, if I do things my way, and if things mess up, she's going to make my life hell. So the best thing is, let me keep her informed, and let me seek her advice and suggestion and her approval, and then only get into things. Yeah. So these sons become really dependent on their mother when it comes to marriage, starting family, work, traveling, everything they do you know um, with their mother's approval. Yeah, I mean, you must have come across a lot of cases where the guy loves you, but the mother doesn't approve of the marriage, so the guy then leaves you. Yeah. So these guys are victims of emotional incest. These guys are raised by narcissistic mothers. Yeah. So that's how things are. When you are raised by narcissistic parents, you are just crippled, you are handicapped. The other way these narcissistic mothers destroy their own son's life is by inflating their ego while secretly undermining their self-worth, creating inner conflict. So they will inflate your ego. They will try and inflate the son's ego by saying, you are one of my best child, you are the most obedient. And then they are going to undermine your self-worth. Yeah, they are going to treat you otherwise. Yeah, they are going to give you crumb, and then they are going to treat you like shit at the same time. And what this does is that this creates an inner conflict. You really don't know if you are at all a good son, a good man, or a piece of shit, because you are getting both the responses from your narcissistic mother. So that's how this bitch inflates your ego while secretly undermining your self-worth. Yeah. So they really destroy you. They really cripple you, emotionally handicap you, and that's how you are stuck with them. Yeah. These women, they really don't care what their action is causing to their son, and how it will impact his adult life. They just don't care about that. All what they're concerned about is that they get to play dirty, they get to press the button, they get to harvest the supply, and that's it. End of story. The other way these narcissistic mothers destroy their own son's life is by sabotaging their son's relationship by fostering entitlement, manipulation, or emotional unavailability. So if they see that their son is busy with his wife, with his children, with his girlfriend, these women are going to tell the son that now your wife has come, so you have forgotten your mother. Now your kids are your priority, your old parents are never your priority. Very nice, you're so selfish, you're so mean. I wonder if I would have been selfish like you. I mean, you wouldn't have had grown up to be such a great man if I would have been selfish like you. So they are going to guilt trip you. They are going to indirectly show who the boss is. Yeah, I'm the boss, and I need to be prioritized, and not your wife, your son, your child, your girlfriend. No, I should be the priority. And these narcissistic mothers then are going to become emotionally unavailable. Yeah. And that really hurts the son. And the son wants the mother's emotional availability. The son wants the mother to be emotionally available, but these narcissistic mothers are selectively emotionally available. Yeah, they are not available all the time. They will only be available when they have some work out of you. Once the work is done, they'll be absent. Yeah. And that's how they drive their sons crazy. The son is never able to focus on his life. his well-being, his family, his wife, his children, his career, his investment, his growth. He's never, seriously focused on all those things. He's
Because
all the time walking on eggshells. He's all the time, thinking of some ways or the other, to please his narcissistic mother and get those, tiny bit of crumbs. But sadly, he never gets the entire bread. He just gets those leftover crumbs, and he has to then gaslight, his own self, that this is love, this is unconditional love. But let me tell you honestly, some way or the other, these guys also know that they are being treated, like, piece of shit by their narcissistic mothers. But because of cognitive dissonance, it's difficult to accept that their primary caregiver, their mother, is their first abuser, their first bully. It's very difficult. Plus a lot of emotional incest, no boundaries at all, oversharing of information. And the son, develops a very unhealthy bond with these women. Yeah, he's crippled, he's handicapped. And the last way these narcissistic mothers destroy their son's life is by making them fear failure and rejection, leaving them trapped in perfectionism or self doubt. So every time the son failed, she never said that, okay, it's okay, we learn from failure, we learn from our mistakes. No, this bitch, you know put up a drama. She created chaos, she shamed you, she guilt tripped you, she compared you, she minimized your experiences, your challenges. She just didn't treat you right, yeah, the way how a healthy mother does. And as a result of which, you grow up into an adult who fears rejection and failure. Yeah, you have to be a perfectionist, you have to be a people pleaser. That's what you become, when you're raised by these psychotic evil bitches. Yeah, so you are trapped in that perfectionism and self doubt. Yeah, you give your best, but you're not sure whether at all I have given my best. Yeah, that's the kind of dilemma you are stuck in. Yeah, you burn yourself out, you want to be the perfect one, you want to be the best one. Yeah, so that you are not rejected, so that you are not treated otherwise. Yeah, you want to be the showstopper. Yeah, even though it's costing your own mental peace, your finances, if it's costing your health, it doesn't really matter. I have to give my best. Yeah, so you really don't know when to stop. Yeah, and this is because of all that control instilling this fear of failure and rejection. You felt miserable whenever your mother ignored you, and as a result of which you feel miserable when others reject you as well, when others avoid you, when others don't speak to you, when others treat you badly. You hate that. Yeah, and as a result of which you avoid conflict. You're not into conflict resolution, but you avoid conflict. You get into people pleasing tendencies, you get into shape shifting, you get into all this perfectionism. Yeah, so that you are never rejected, you're all the time relevant, you're all the time accepted, and you never fail. Yeah, you succeed in anything and everything, and everybody says, wow, you're so good, wow, you're so amazing, you're so smart. I get it, healthy validation is there, but it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail miserably. I mean, I failed miserably, and that's how I learned. I mean, though in family things were different. I mean, I was shamed, beaten, treated badly, but I learned great deal of things by making mistake. Yeah, every time I failed, I learned a lot of things in life. So I'm not scared of failing. I'm not scared of making mistake. But yes, when you are dealing with guys who are emotionally, married to their narcissistic mothers, they will be scared of failure and rejection. Yeah, and they'll do anything to, be the best and, be the one who's accepted and appreciated and not rejected. Yeah, so yes, these were some of the ways these narcissistic mothers destroy their son's life. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.